Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get it, let's get it. We got another great conversation in store for you beautiful people today. Make sure you tapped in. Let me know if y'all can hear me right now. If you can hear my voice. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear my voice. Can you guys hear me today? Okay, we got one. We in business. Let's get it. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Xavier Snow, and I'm the founder of Black Affluence. Today, I'm starting something new. This is a series I like to call Cashflow Convos. We'll be helping out business owners and aspiring entrepreneurs level up their business mindset so that they can begin to leverage credit so that they can build cash flow. And with this series, I hope to inspire, educate, and empower the community so that they can begin to pursue generational wealth. And today, we got a special guest, but before we jump into who our special guest is today, I want to know who is on the line. Where are you at? What kind of business do you have? Where in the world are you? I'd love to know who's in the building right now as we begin to disperse this extremely valuable information. Like I said, my name is Xavier Snow. I'm currently living in Medellin, Colombia. I run a marketing agency where I help funding specialists grow their business with ads, content creation, and digital marketing strategies. So just drop where you guys are located in while we get our guest on board. And like I said, this guy is amazing, man. He's definitely a heavy hitter. I'm super ecstatic to bring him on and to introduce him for you guys. So let's go ahead and jump in. Let's get it.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. How you doing,
Cool,
boss?
man. Life's good, brother. Life's good.
Man, you got the whole fit on, man.
Oh, yeah, we repping. All right.
All
And the
right,
24-8.
gang, dog. I love
Yeah,
it, man.
yeah.
Man, so I do have a small intro for you.
Okay.
I gotta read it because I don't want to mess up your credentials and your legacy, man. So I'm gonna give you my intro, and then after that, I want you to give your intro because ain't nobody can tell your story like you.
All right.
So
Life's
let's let's get it. So, like I said, this is the first episode, but today we are tapping in with none other than Mr. 24/8 himself, brother Dwight Looney is in the building. This man he's not just talking about funding. He's living it, he's breathing it, and he's making sure his people are able to eat off of it. And so from struggling to find the right credit help to becoming the go-to plug for funding and financial freedom, Dwight has built his empire the right way through experience, strategy, and straight up execution. While most experts are out here only teaching the game, Dwight actually played it, won it, and is now handing out the blueprints. He's not just helping people fix their credit, he's teaching them how to build six-figure businesses off of it, whether it's credit repair, business funding, or high-level mentorship. Dwight is actually turning everyday hustlers into financial bosses, and he has the receipts to prove it. If you ever felt like funding was out of reach, like the banks were gatekeeping the money, or like you were stuck in a cycle of financial struggle, today's episode is your wake-up call. Mr. 24/8, it's about time to drop those funding gems. So let's get into it, man. How you feeling, brother?
Hey, man. Life's good, bro. Life's good, man. Thank you for having me. For first and foremost, man. Thank you. Be
Hey,
able to
man,
share the
it's
word
an
to
honor.
the culture, to the people that want to listen.
Yes, an honor to have you. It's an honor to have you, man. I'm working on the intro. I'm gonna get it right next time. But
Nah, you did
for
great, man.
the
You did great.
I appreciate it, man. For those that don't know you, can you just kind of paint a little bit of background about how you got involved in this space and who you are?
All right, first off, man, my name is Dwight Looney. I'm from Gary, Indiana. I currently live in Las Vegas, Nevada. And so basically, man, who I am, man, like my brother said earlier, man, I was honestly looking to for somebody to help me fix my credit. That's what I was honestly doing, man. I was like, hey, my credit's jacked up. I didn't really understand it or understood how it worked. So I was looking for somebody to help me. But one thing that I didn't like when I was going through the process was it was certain credit repair people, they didn't really have the knowledge. They was like working for a company. So they was like they was more like associates and getting paid to send people clients. So when I asked certain questions, they couldn't answer them. So I'm like, I'm not going to give you my money. You can't answer the questions. And one of the questions I was asked them was, I had high credit card usage. And I said, if I pay my credit card usage down, would that help my credit go up? They said, no, just pay me, and we got you. And honestly, that was the wrong answer. Honestly, the truth was I didn't really have bad credit like I thought I had. I just had high credit card usage, and all I really had to do was pay off my credit card debt down, and my score would have went right back up. I had a feeling that, but I honestly didn't know. So when I went through all that, and I'm like, man, you know what? I stumbled onto a mentor. He taught me the game. Him 500, I always shout him out. Marcus Burney.
500.
Yeah, so he taught me the game, and it changed my life. So now I was able to. So I ain't gonna lie to you. The first thing I thought was, you know what? I'm finna help everybody else with this. So that was like the first thing. I'm like, hey,
Okay.
I'm finna bring this back to where I'm from, and I'm finna teach everybody. Because once I saw what it did to me, for me, because I didn't think credit was cool. I grew up in Gary. I grew up in the streets, so I thought cash was king. I thought it was all about having money or working a job. Nobody really bragged on credit. I mean, we knew that you had to have good credit, but we didn't really need it if we had money. That's what I thought, and that's what my mindset was. But I was all wrong.
Man, I feel like you just set the stage for a movie or something, right? Little did I know. Wow. Okay. Okay. That's dope, man. That's dope. So let's dive into these questions, man, because I'm genuinely curious. Um, for example, like your name for it is 24/8, man. That's powerful, dude. Like it to me, it just speaks to your work ethic, your ability to put in the extra hour. But I want to know what it means to you, and how does that mentality shape the way you approach your business?
um, Man, it means basically what we all dreamed of, and that's making
Mm,
money in our sleep. So
mm,
24/7. Somebody was like, "Well, it's only 24/7." I said, "No, I only get money in my sleep." They said you can do that 24/7 too. I said, "Nah, I'm like Kobe Bryant, you know." So it's actually Kobe Bryant numbers too. So I have the mama
mm.
mentality to come with it. So the
Okay.
24/8 is Kobe Bryant numbers plus everything you said that I want to get money in my sleep. I get money 24/8. So when I'm not even trying to get money, I'm getting money. And I just always want to be top tier and just the best in everything that I do. So just like with Kobe, even though Michael Jordan is his mentor, but that was still his bar. That was who he looked up to, and that's who he wanted to be better than. And it wasn't no disrespect. He knew that that was his teacher. He was the bar. But
Right.
I want to say myself, my mentor is my bar. I want to be just as good as he was and or who he is
Mm,
right now. So, and I studied the 48 laws of power, so I know not to try to outshine my master
yes,
or the person that taught
sir.
me the game. But that might go over some people's head. But it's just basically it's just you got to set a bar, and it's a friendly competition. It ain't saying I'm trying to be better or nothing. You the bar, you the best, and I want to be just as good as you. I'm not in this to be
Mm,
number two. I'm in it to be number
mm,
one. So that's everything that 24/8 stands for.
mm. Man. And so, how would you say that particular mindset helps people who are possibly stuck in a financial cycle? How does that mindset help them break through to begin to create wealth for themselves and their
Honestly, man, first we gotta unlearn what we learned. That's gonna be
family?
number one. We have to unlearn what we learned because everything we was taught was wrong. It was wrong. It was setting us up to be workers. So we can make a living off our back going to work, but you can make a fortune off your brain. And that's what they don't teach in school unless you go to like Harvard or somewhere like that. But they're not going to teach the information that I have. That's why I call my mentorship rich off information, because to me, that's what I got rich off information. Information is what they have from us. So a lot of things that they taught us was wrong. And then, so that's the first thing, y'all. Y'all have to unlearn what we was taught, because we was taught wrong. We was taught go to school, get an education, then after school, go get a degree, and then go work for somebody. That's what we was taught. You go to school for business, they're going to teach you how to run somebody else's business. So we was all brought up. They basically molded us with the bell rings, with the lunch, the dinner, all that stuff. It's the same system they got set up in prison. It's the same system they got set up at the job. They're molding us to just basically be workers and something to be proud of. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think everybody in the world needs to be an entrepreneur. I ain't saying that you have to be an entrepreneur. It's not for everybody. But if they taught this, I think it would be more entrepreneurs than workers, though. And they know that as well. And that's the reason why they're not going to teach it to us. So, and then the moment that our culture catches on to it, they start trying to change things. So the first thing is like almost everything that they taught us was opposite. Credit is bad. But really, credit is how everything is built. Let's just take a bank, for example, right? How much money does it take to run a bank? It actually takes zero. So this is one thing I like to explain to people, that is how to change your mindset, right? Because basically a bank started from zero. It was built off of debt, and then they don't need no money. Why? Because we're going to deposit money to them. And then they're going to take our money and they're going to invest our money, and then they're going to give you a percentage of the money that they're investing, your money that you're investing. Yeah. So that's really the name of the game. Yeah, so that's leverage. So once we learn leverage, you don't really have to have money. I don't care where you at in life. You get your credit right, you set your credit profile up right, we can go get you some money to basically start any business you want. Or anything that you want to do, you can do it. So leverage other people's money to bring you money. So that's just one thing that we as the people, we got to unlearn that first. Especially if you have an entrepreneur mindset. I used to be that way. I always had an entrepreneur mindset, but I didn't understand the financial side of it. I used to work overtime. I used to work 2 jobs. I used to try to save myself up. So I saved 10, 20,000, and then I take my hard-earned work money and I go in to make an investment. And then if that investment doesn't work, now I'm back to zero. Versus if I just kept my 20K, went to bar day 20K, took risk with their money. If things didn't work out, guess what? I still got my 20K. And I can just file bankruptcy on my business, and I can still keep my money. So that's why I said we have to unlearn that, because when I be trying to tell people that, they be like, man, I don't want to owe nobody. Hey, man, it's a difference between good debt and bad debt. That is good debt because it's in your LLC. So basically, it's like the Rockefeller the rule, right? Basically, own nothing but control everything. Meaning that I got this LLC, so I don't own that. My business own it, but guess what? I control it. So now you can have debt in that name. Just keep that out of your name. So that's the day. So that's the way of thinking that you have to think. No, you don't want debt. You don't want no debt in your name, but you want debt in your business name. Because guess what Coca-Cola does every year? They make $1 billion and they turn around and put another $1 billion back into advertising. That's how they stay billionaires. That's how they keep having money. And then they only use their money. They can just go borrow somebody else's money and do it. I mean, our president, he the best at it. Right. So when we talking about, oh, he don't pay taxes, but y'all don't really understand, right? So they try to put that into the black community. Oh, he's bad. He don't pay taxes. He don't have to pay taxes with the laws that they put in place. If you have a business and your business do not make any money, you do not have to pay taxes on that business. So then they say, well, Donald Trump have $1 million. Yeah, but that's in Donald Trump's name, not in the business that he invested name. So if he took a loss, he don't have to pay taxes on something that he took a loss in, right? And then by him being Donald Trump, banks only look for collateral, cash flow, or credit. He don't need credit. he got cash flow and collateral, so they're gonna keep giving him money. He can go start another business and go start another business, and he can keep getting money because he keep that out of his name and he keep that in his business name. So that's why I say a lot of stuff that we have to really like unlearn. So my bad. I'm talking. I get long winded with it, man. Slow down.
Dude, nah, man, nah. Dude, I noticed this too, especially with black men, man. Like, very rarely do we have the space to just talk. So when we find something that we actually are passionate
Yeah.
about, like, yo, we go in, man. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man, because we need to have these conversations, and the only way to grow is to get this information, like your hat says. So I'm thankful that you're able to share this with me and the people today. Um, so now let's go backwards a little bit because I know that you started off wanting to fix your credit,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you began to want to help others. Talk about the moment when you made that mindset shift where it was like bigger than just you and you realized like, look, I gotta master this because I want to teach it and I want to bring my people to where I'm at.
I saw the light, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. Once
Mm,
I seen what this can do, I saw the light, and I was like, man, people where I'm from, we need this information. We really need it bad. And honestly, it was my calling, and I finally found my calling. Because the thing is, I have been helping people for a long time. I had a documentary that I was actually shining people, like bigging up people from where I'm from. And then I just been helping other people with their business and grow their business. I'm like, I need to find something for me. And then another thing, I used to work construction, but then I used to coach my son's basketball team. And I realized that on the weekends when it was time to coach, I was so excited about it. I was so
mm,
excited being around the kids. And I asked myself, I said, man, what can I start that I can feel this same way, have well, I'm working for free
mm,
that I can get paid for, because I'm more excited to go work this job for free than I am making 40 some dollars an hour working construction. And I was
mm,
just like, I was wondering like, what can I do? So I went to school for psychology. So I was like, you know what? I want to help troubled teens because I was a troubled teen. So I went to school for psychology so I can have the educational background. This is before I knew the financial literacy stuff. So my path was already building and I didn't know it. So I knew that I wanted to help my community, and because I felt good with coaching kids. Actually being a coach, you actually a counselor. I actually be counseling the kids.
mm.
So the parents come to me, they be want to talk to you. So I was like, well, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna help them. So but God told me, you know what, I got a bigger plan for you. And I didn't realize he had a bigger plan for me, but his bigger plan was he wanted me to be a credit guy. Because honestly, I didn't think credit cool. When I first learned it, I said, man, people gonna laugh at me. I started talking about some credit. I'm like, God, you sure you want me to do this? And he just said, go do it. So I listened.
Mm,
I listened to my intuition. I feel like that was God talking to me. So instead of me using my psychology degree and go work for somebody, God said, you know what? The kids and the people, they need the mindset. So you got the education. So now you can counsel them. But not
mm,
only you going to counsel them like you give them the mindset, I want you to give them some financial game that's going to keep them and hold them safe and their families safe for the rest of their life. So it's a calling to me, man. It's to serve, and like I've been doing it for 3.5 years. I have
mm,
enough money to hire a closer.
mm,
I just haven't did it
mm,
because my brand means something to me. I've been doing
mm,
this for 3.5 years. I don't have not one chargeback,
mm,
and I don't know nobody in the credit space that can say that.
mm,
That's because when I talk to my people, I counsel them and I be honest with them. I be 100 with them. I say, hey, if I can do something, I can do it. If I can't do it in the time frame they don't want it,
mm,
I don't make them pay for services they don't need to pay for.
mm.
Right. So I always be honest and upfront. So they always get the results that I say
Yeah.
90% of the time, but they get some type of results to that. Even if they had 10 things, I wiped off 8, they happy.
Mm,
So I always try to overachieve everybody. But I know if I hire a closer, they only thing they're gonna be telling them anything, lying to them. And
mm.
I'm getting too big, and I know I'm gonna have to hire, but I'm being really, really
Yeah.
picky. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm being really, really picky of who I want to represent my brand, because my
Mm,
brand is for the people, and customer service is like it went downhill. And
mm,
if I can just say that, it's not because it's not all about money with me. It's all about helping. And I feel like if I'm the best and I help, God gonna bless me with money anyway. I don't have to take every dollar. Every dollar come my way ain't my money. And some of the clients that's saying they call me and want something done in a month, I'm not, don't kill me with that stress. Because the first thing they're gonna say is my fault that they couldn't get the place. It's my fault they got fired. It's my fault this and my, I don't even want that stress. Because man, it drains on my energy because I try to help so many people because that's what I want to do. I want to over deliver every time somebody pay anything into me. I think I went over too long with your question, but yeah,
No.
I'm just so passionate about what I do. Yeah.
No, I can tell, man. I can tell, dude. And that's important, man. When you're talking about your finances and credit and building wealth, like you don't want somebody that's doesn't have their heart in it or that doesn't care about the community. You want somebody that's actually been through the trenches. And I'm sure the people that you work for and work with, I really appreciate that. So yeah, man, it's all good, dude. Um, Now let's talk about the credit game, man, because a lot of people have this idea that having a 700 credit score is enough to just go get the bag. And I know that we talked about it earlier today, and it's a lot deeper than that. Can you talk about what are the key things that lenders actually look for when people are going and seeking funding?
Yeah, that's like one marketing tool I hate that a lot of credit people do and business fund do. If you got a 700 credit score, I can get you business fund. That's cap. And then so now when people come to me, they be like, hey, man, I got a 700 credit score. Can you get me funded? And I look at their profile. I tell them, no, they swept it down. I don't know what I'm talking about because of such and such said, if you had a 700 credit score, they can get you funded. It's all about your profile. When I talk to clients, I don't even want to look at their credit score. I hate when they send it to me, but I know they don't understand, so I loud. But I'm like, man, what's this? Because one thing it is, man, it's a million people, maybe even a billion people in the world that has the same credit score. But there's nobody in this world that has the same credit profile. So everybody profile is different. And some people call me, well, you did this for such and such. My score is better than this. So is your profile better? So to answer your question, brother, is what the banks are looking for when it comes to credit. Like I said, they look for collateral, they look for cash flow, or they look for credit. Credit is the best one to me. But when it comes to credit, this is what your profile has to look like. It has to. All right. It's called data points. So everything is AI generated. So long as you can go past a AI system, it's going to get approved. All right. So what you can't have is no late payments in the last 2 years. I don't care what your score is. No late payments in the last 2 years. Your discography remarks, of course, got to be zero. Your inquiries, you want 2 or less. Can't be no new trades, and I mean new credit cards, new loans, nothing like that. They hold that against you as well. So that's why you want to have 2 or less inquiries. Your age has to be at least about 4 years and 10 months. At least of like, let's say 5 years. You can get a trade line for that. And total accounts, you want at least 8 to 10 positive accounts on your report. So now you have a profile, a real credit profile.
Okay.
That now you can go get funded. So that's what they're looking at. They're looking at all these things. And also another thing that I forgot one major thing too, 10%. You got to keep your credit card usage under 10%. The crazy part is the best time to ask for money, let me say this, the best time to ask for money is when you don't need it. So when your credit card usage is under 10%, all that, that's the best time to ask for money. Because a lot of times people panic. Their credit card used to get up to 90%, 80%. Now they want to borrow more money. But the bank's going to look at you like, man, you on your way to bankruptcy. You're bad with money, so they're not going to lend it to you. But if you look like you keep your credit card usage under 10%, you look fundable, and they will fund you because they look like, okay, you know how to manage your money. You know what you're doing. You pay your bills on time. That's how the banks look at it. That's how they look at your profile. So long as your profile set up like this, I know you got a 680 or plus credit score. I ain't even got to look at it. All right. And that's another thing too, though. So once you get there, you got to have a major credit card in your name. Okay. This is a myth. Everybody be wanting you to do those secure credit cards, right? Not saying it doesn't work. It does help build your score, but it does nothing for your profile. Actually, the banks frown off on that because I can send people. I got the affiliate links. I can send people all these credit builders, but all I'm doing is trashing them. They send that to the black community and they have us build stuff off of that. It's just trash because now they want you to keep those type of accounts for at least a year with good standings before they even look at you. So it works. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just trying to tell you how to get that faster. So instead, just go get a trade line. Get your credit shot up to like a 700 trade line. Then go get a credit card in your name, basically an unsecured credit card in your name, because they're gonna start you off with $300 to $600, $500 somewhere around there. So this is another hack. You want to use it. Gas, food, all the natural stuff that you would regularly use the debit card for, you use it, you pay it off. Do it every 2 weeks. Make sure you pay before the due date, at least 3 days before the due date before it reports, because you don't want to carry over high credit card usage. So now once you do this, the AI system gonna pick up. They afterwards gonna pick up and say, hey, we need to give this person more money because they just basically just keep spending and keep spending. They're gonna increase your credit limit. So when you go for funding, I like for my people, especially they become time, I want 100,000. You only got a $200 credit card. So I like for you to at least have a 25K personal credit card, because what people don't know is what you have on a personal side, you can get 2 times that on the business side. So basically, I don't really want to fund nobody unless they have at least $5,000 credit card limit. But 2,500 would basically get you in the door. That would get you in the door. So you at least got to have a 2,500 credit card limit, and you need to at least have that credit card for 6 months so they can see some type of trail on you. And I can go on and on how to extra build your account out. So it's a lot of hacks that you can do to actually build that profile out so you get them 8 to 10 positive accounts. You can go get Stella. You can do Rent a Karma, Credit My Rent. They don't communicate with each other. So it's easy to boost you up to that 8 to 10 positive accounts without you having to go get those whack credit cards. I know I said a mouthful, but that's all the stuff that you need though. So that's a lot of game right there. That's a lot of gems.
Yeah, man, that was a lot of game. I hope people are taking notes, man,
takes
because
our money makers.
Man, what, bro? People don't know that's a lost skill, man.
Yeah, it is. It's money makers, man, for real. I still write things down. I've been doing this since I was like 16, 17 years old. And I know, now that I know how powerful it is, I'm like, dang, no wonder everything I ever dreamed of came to fruition because I wrote it down. Ooh. And this ain't like school. That's why I said they taught us all wrong. See, in school, you copy off my paper. They call that cheating. They don't want you. They already program you not to ask for information from nobody. So they already that's why I say you got to unlearn. Yeah. You got to learn to unlearn because hey, I can't copy off your paper. It's cheating. No, in my mentorship, I'm gonna give you the answers to the test. I'm gonna tell you everything the banks want, everything that they need, what to put in the applications, how to get approved, how to. No. We're sharing information. This ain't cheating. So in mentorship, that's why mentorship to me was better. I went to college. I did that. I got the degree. I went to a mentorship, paid way less than what I paid then. I paid him $505,000. I paid probably $40K for my bachelor's degree. I didn't make nothing off of the way that they told me, but I made $500,000. I grossed $1 million, netted $500,000 off of $5,000 worth of gain. So a lot of times people be trying to hold back. Well, I don't want to pay. Well, that's the reason why you stand in a situation. I'm going to try to learn this myself. I'm going to try to learn it myself till you get tired and then you bump your head. And sometimes maybe 1 out of 100,000 people might figure everything out. But man, just save yourself time, energy, and money and get that faster. Pay somebody for the information. Because now I'm quick to pay somebody for the information and get me there faster. Hey man, what you doing over there? Hey, can I get that can I get the answers to that test? That's how I look at it. I see you over there shining. Can I get the answers to your test? Because I'm trying to shine too. It ain't no hating. It's basically like, hey, I want to shine too. So sign me up.
Hey. And I hate to make this a race thing, man, but I feel like we as a community, we're getting to that point where we are sharing the gems more. But I think that's one of the things why other communities have been able to prosper so much is because they have no problem sharing games, sharing wealth secrets. They do it like it's an everyday occurrence to have those conversations. So that's why I'm thankful for
they was bred that way though. So a lot of times when they come into the world, right, they already have family meetings. So they have like this whole family tree. Okay, your son get this, your daughter gonna get this. They have like tiers of people, right? So they basically start gifting people with life insurance policies soon as they born, putting stuff in trust soon as they born, open up custodial accounts as soon as they're born, open up LLCs soon as they're born. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of this stuff I didn't know for my kids, but for my granddaughter that I have, first thing I'm like, hey, I'm getting her LLC. She's 24/8 next gen. So when she get 18, she got an 18-year-old business. The next thing I sell with a custodial account. Right. So now I'm putting stocks in the account. So now when she get 18, she should have at least 6 figures in there. So now and then I'm going to put her on my credit card. She get 16. So when she hit 18, now she got an 800 credit score, 18-year-old business, $100,000 in a bank account. And so she got a great head start. And at that point, I ain't got to go and take out no money and work hours like, oh man, my granddaughter finna go graduate. I gotta go work some overtime, or I gotta go on my savings. I didn't gotta touch my money because I already set her up from day one. A lot of times we wait till the last minute to try to do stuff that we need to do right at this minute, right now. My bad, man. I'll be getting into it.
Yo, hey, preach, man. I'm like, yo. Hey, where the collection play that, man?
I'll be having to catch myself.
You good. You good, bro. I mean, dog. Like,
because I wish I could give people insights, man. Like, I be want to shake them sometimes. Like, man, like.
Nah, you making it. You make it exciting, and that's what we need. We can't have boring conversations about the things that we need and we know that we need, man. Like, money is one of those things, like you said, they don't teach us, and it's a reason why they don't teach us it. And so being able to reach back out and to share the knowledge and the information is truly priceless, man. But I do want to continue based on the funding and just getting back to the funding. And the mindset behind it, like in your experiences, like what has been the most common mistake people make when they're applying for funding, and how can they avoid them?
When they're applying for funding, the most common mistake is they think a 700 credit score is good enough, and they don't really get educated on how the profile should look, and it takes time and patience. It's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
So it's being consistent, figuring out your end goal, then writing down all the stuff that it's going to take to get to that end goal and cross them out as you go. So if you get with a right mentor like me, right coach like me, I'm going to tell you every step that you need to take. Just take every little step, because that's like the common mistake. Some people be like, hey, I want to get funded today, and then if it don't happen in the next week or a month, they own to something else, or they own to somebody else. So they leave too fast. They walk away too fast. They don't stick to. They don't just stick to it. You got to be consistent. You got to water that plant so it can grow. So that's like the most common mistake. The rest of them is like credit card usage be high. Credit report is not structured out correctly. So it be like little mistakes like that. It be mostly the credit profile. Everybody say, well, I want business credit, and they don't understand that you have to personal guarantee that with your personal credit. Then they be like, why I gotta do all that? I just want business credit. I mean, because the banks ain't finna fund to you, and they ain't seeing what you can do of your personal life, and they know that you can just write this off and because it's or bankruptcy because it's not in your name. So they got to really, really trust you before they move forward with you. Put yourself in their shoes. Because if it was that easy for everybody to do it, it's easy to start an LLC. Anybody can do that. I can go get 10, 20 of them. Right? That don't mean you can get funded. So if everybody can just go get an LLC and get funded off of it, and then the banks will be broke. So they want to see if you're responsible and all that good stuff before they can fund you. So that's like the most common mistake that I see that people make. They just think a 700 credit score is good enough when it's not. So I used to give people this example, like when my daughter turned 18, that's when I first started doing this too. So I put her on my credit card. She went to 800. I was a little jealous. I ain't gonna lie, because I was at like a 740, 750 at the time. I'm like, God dang, you got 800. I was happy and jealous. I'm like, how the heck this happened? Like, this is when I'm learning all this stuff. But at the same time, her credit profile wasn't better than mine. She had an 800. I had a 750, but I was I'll be able to go and get things that she can't get. I can go get $100,000 car. I can go get it. I had mortgage on there. I had all the credit mixtures. I had everything, low credit card usage. So my profile was solid. All she had was me as an authorized user. So 800 weak profile, nothing. 750 strong profile, get everything, got anything that I wanted.
Man,
So that's,
that's
to me, that's the biggest common mistake right there. Like, stop looking at the numbers, and you really have to really focus on the profile.
mm, man, that's powerful. I think, yeah, that's definitely something that people don't know or they don't realize. Like it's actually the profile versus just the number. That's powerful, man. So I guess the way to avoid that would just be continuing your education and continuing to learn from, like you said, mentors, people that can guide you in the right direction. Is that right?
Yeah, and get with the right. Even if you're going to the credit repair person, a funding person, man, just make sure they can answer your questions. That's going to tell you everything
Mm,
about them. Come with questions and make sure they can act. They should be able to guide you through this.
mm,
They should be able to definitely guide you through everything. Because when people come to me, I'm gonna tell them, hey man, this is what you got to do. Bam, 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 bam. This is what I'm always telling them before I even give them a price. The first thing I'm gonna
yeah.
tell them is, hey, this is what I can do for you. This is what I need you to do for yourself. If that's okay with them, I let them ask me my price. But I tell them what I can do for them, and they make that decision based off of what I can do, and then I give them knowledge of what they can do for themselves. So even if they don't even go to me, they got the knowledge. They can go do what they want to do. Like I said, my heart is into serving, man. I love it.
Yeah.
It's no better feeling than me getting paid to help people change their life. That's
Mm.
the best feeling in the world, right there. I get paid to change lives. Maybe I need to make a shirt of that. That should be my next slur. I get paid to change lives.
I was already
Let me
clipping
write
it in
that
my mind.
down. I told you I'm a note taker. I'm gonna write that down right now.
Nah, I was already, you know, they have like the little previews at the beginning of the
Uh-huh.
podcast. Like I had already clipped that part out in my mind. Like, yo, this is a beautiful quote right here.
Yeah, I like that. And it's
Nah,
real
that's
too.
tough. That's tough, man. That's tough. So, okay, boom, man. You coming with the gems heavy, bro. Heavy. Okay, so not only do you help people get funded, you actually help them start their credit repair, trade line, and funding business. Can you talk about who that's for and exactly how that process works?
To me, honestly, if you're an entrepreneur,
Mm,
my program, I actually put my whole mentorship in my community. But if you need coaching, then we could talk about that. Because everybody learn different. Some people just go into my community, my school community, everything that I know. I haven't put everything in there yet, but that's my plan. In the next couple of weeks, I'm just put everything in there. It's only $47 a month, but it's for anybody that basically is an entrepreneur. So even if what I teach in there though, I teach you how to uh, fix your own credit and to start your own credit repair business. A lot of people don't want to start their own credit repair business, but it's very, very important that you have the
mm,
financial literacy on knowing how to fix your own credit and the
mm,
data points and all that all that great information, because that's the foundation from every business is money. Everybody have great ideas, but they don't have the money, right? So I teach people basically financial literacy, and I teach them how to start their own credit repair business, a six-figure credit repair. I'll teach you how to start a six-figure credit repair business. I made six figures my first year in my credit repair business, and
mm,
I teach other people how to do the same. It's hard to profit in your first year almost any business, but I did
mm,
make six figures in my first year, and I teach you how to do a trade line business, so they kind of like go together. So a lot of times when people come for credit repair, they're gonna need trade lines. I'm not gonna lie. The first thing that I learned from my mentor was the trade line business, and I'm like, shoot, this is so sweet. I made 75K in 9 months. I didn't even want to do the credit repair. I was like, God dang, I'm making all this money out of just that. So now I said, okay, let me go ahead and tap in. So now I'm making 100,000 off the credit repair business, and now I got a six-figure trade line business as well. So that's how you
mm,
turn credit to cash, right? So a lot of people are like, well, I don't want a lot of credit cards. I don't want a lot of credit cards. I wish I had all my credit cards with me. I got probably like this many. Um, People like they don't want them credit, but these credit cards make me money, because now when people come to my credit repair business, I don't even use these credit cards, but I use them as authorized users. And a lot of them give you like 5 or 7 authorized users. They stay filled up. So we don't know. I don't know nobody that personally. I think I only knew like when I needed a trade line. I think I only knew like 2 people that can do it out of everybody I knew. So that's let you know right then and there that the business is in demand. So you can help people get cars, you can help people get houses just by adding them on as a trade line. So that's a hundred. I make $100,000 a year off a trade line business, and then I make I make a $500,000 now off my query. But at first I made 100,000. I'm gonna just say from beginners. So now you got $100,000 query repair business. You got $100,000 trade line business, right? So now that's 200, almost $250,000. Probably gonna average out to almost $250,000 a year. Right. So that's probably more than what most people are making. I know that's way more than the average income, because the average income in America is 50,000. So the trade line business alone, just getting your credit right and using that as authorized users, getting relationships with realtors, car dealership people, and just say, hey, if you got somebody that can't get approved, you can come to me. They need a trade line. Bam. It's that simple. All you do is just put them on your trade line. They don't get the car, get sent to you. You cut it up. It's an easy business. Don't take long at all. So that's $100,000 a year. Like I said, then you got the credit repair business, so that's 200,000. Then you got the business funding that I actually teach as well. The business funding is very, very great for people that needs funding. So now you know how to do it for yourself, because you come to me, I'm gonna charge you 10%. So I tell people it's better for you to go through my coaching program, learn how to fish yourself, and you don't have to come to me. Because if I get you 100,000, you got to pay me 10K. Okay. Why not just pay me 10K one time, learn it, do it yourself, and then you can do it for other people, or you can do it for multiple LLCs. So it just depends on you if you got the time to do it. But that business funding is going to make you another, man, I don't know. That's going to make you, when I start implementing that, I made $250,000 the first year off of that. So now I'm like JC. So now add that number up with the one I said before. You're not looking at one smart young boy. So, so I made $500,000 in 1 year, real quick, real fast, off of $5,000 that some people saying I was crazy for spending. Right. So I made that. Once I implemented, I'm sorry, the business funding, because I learned one thing at a time. I did the trade line, then I did the credit repair, and then I did the business funding. And I was sending people, and I was getting like 30% of the 10%, right? So until I really started dialing on myself. So I teach all of this stuff. So it's no way you're gonna make at least $300,000 off of my program a year. If you just implement everything, set everything up. I tell you how to set up. I tell you how to run your ads. I tell you what to do. I can tell you what to charge. I can tell you how to hire. I can tell you everything. I'm gonna give you the whole blueprint that I already lived and still living today, right? So, and you're gonna be successful. So even if you don't want to start none of these business, it's still good for you to have the education, so you can go get funded, especially if you're an entrepreneur, and now you can get this money and you can go start businesses with it. Because this is the blueprint. You have to get funded to start a bit of. I just know our people, they always use the word borrow. I don't want to borrow. I don't want to owe. I don't want to owe, because we was taught not to owe, right? But when I tell them this way, when I say, hey, man, I can teach you how to raise capital, they get excited about that, but it's still borrow. So sometimes I had to learn how to word play with my people, because it's like when I can say I could help you get funded, they're like, well, I got to pay that back. They get scared, right? So if you're scared to take those chances, then entrepreneurship ain't for you. Because I don't know not one entrepreneur that ain't take risks. You have to take risks. They didn't know what their business was going to do when they did it. They believed in themselves. They invested themselves. They when they got the funds for it, and they where they at right now because of that. Man. So yeah, I hope I answered everything. I know I'll be going on a tear.
And then some. And then some. No, man, like I like interviewing people that I would talk to anyway. You know what I'm saying? That I would be able to connect with mentally, share a drink, and just chop it up, man. Because it's like they think this calls for them, man. This is really cool. Nah, but I'm curious to know, for someone who's looking to maybe start a funding company, like what would you say is the first step so they can start getting clients and making some real money?
Honestly, first get the education, right? So when people talk to you about it, you can answer the right questions, right? Um, so yeah, just learn it, because you don't really have to drive a Bentley to work for Bentley. So meaning that you don't have to get funded yet to start a business funding, because a lot of times people don't care about what you're doing; they care about what you can do for them. So the first thing is just to learn the information, learn the game. Like I said, you can join my community, join somebody community. Just learn the funding business, learn what it takes to get the funding, learn the credit card stack and sequence, learn what the banks are looking for. And it's just really that simple. It's going to school, but this school right here is going to set you, your family, and anybody that you touch and talk to set for life. I can't go until they change these laws. I can't go broke. When I know, as long as I keep that out of my name, I can go borrow money anytime I feel like it.
Mm.
So that's the first thing I think people, you want to start your own funded business. It's the easiest thing to sell is money. But just learn it. So don't be like a lot of these. Well, you can be like who you want to be like. I ain't gonna say that, but but it is a lot of gurus out here, because I've been in rooms with them and I'm around them, and they can't get they self funded, but be marketing real good and swerve down and get somebody else funded. They don't really know what they doing, man. They be just trying, and then when it happens, they happy and they go share that result. But you got to know a lot of things, not just one thing, because everybody needs is going to be different. So I can do personal funding, I can do business funding, I can get you an SBA loan. The most I funded somebody was 1.5 million to date so far. The least I get people is about
Time out, man.
50,000.
Break that down, man. You said how much?
1.5 million, one client.
One client, $1.5 million.
Yep.
I wish I had a soundboard here, man. I'd be dropping bombs right
Yeah, man.
here.
And that was big right there. But honestly, he was my first client. I got him 150,000 the first time. He was the first client I ever put on the trade line. I helped him get a house built. He was the first client I helped get a car. He went and got a Mercedes. He's the first client that I got funded. And he worked with me before I became 24/8 to the world. So he trusted me from day one, just off what I was telling him. And I remember talking to him one night, and he was like, "I like what you're talking about." I guess he just picked up on the energy. He trusted me before I had an LLC, before I became Mr. 24/8. He seen me from that point on. So then he doubled back around. It's like, "I need some more money." And I'm like, "How much you want?" And I said, "A quarter." He said, "Let's do a half." I said, "Half, might as well go for it. We talking stuff." And now it's on the table though. But because his profile was so worked out, I already helped him get a house built. He did it right. He got a house built first, then he went and got his car. And so now he had collateral. He had the house for that collateral. So his house was worth over $500,000. So like I said, the banks look for credit, collateral, and cash flow. But since he built that profile, but before he came to me, he made good money. That's why I said money ain't jack. He made good money, but couldn't get a house, couldn't get a car. Dude was living with his brother. And now he a millionaire because of information. He got with the right person, got with me. He believed in me. And I met him through a realtor. So like when I started the trade line business, I said first, I went and talked to realtors, called realtors, say, "Hey, if you know anybody?" And it was a lady realtor gave me this guy when I first started. And now he's a friend. He's a friend of mine as well. So, yep.
That's the type of stories I like to hear, man. For real.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about personal versus business credit. A lot of entrepreneurs use personal credit to fund their business, and a lot of times they end up mixing their personal finances with their business. What is the correct way to separate personal and business credit? Stop.
You can't really separate the two. So personal credit, a personal guarantor is a standalone. You can get business funding just off your personal credit. Business credit is not a standalone. You need the personal credit to really get funds. is no bank's gonna. So business credit is a pay debt score. Nobody talks about it. No, nobody get funded off pay debt scores. And just keep it real. You might get $5,000 from J.C. Penney's, $10,000 for Lowe's. So if you're looking for small funding, 50,000 or less, yeah, just build out your business profile, and you can just get that. You can go get 3 trades, let them report 3 net 30s, go get 3 more. Now you got an 80. Once you hit an 80 pay that score, now you can go get funded. Now, if you got cash flow like 2 million, can now we talking about corporate. Now you can go get corporate credit cards, and now you don't have to you don't have to use your personal credit. See, I keep going around. It's the same circle. It all goes back to cash flow, or credit. So you're going to hit one of those gates around. And most people that I talk to, they don't have $2 million. So if you don't have that type of money, then just going straight business credit is not good. But if you got capital, you can just build your business credit out and go get business funding, and you can go do anything because you got the capital. But if you don't have the capital, you have to be a personal guarantor. So that's like the two. But if you strengthen it up and you do both, now you really, really, really good. You strengthen it out and you do both.
For those who may not understand what a personal guarantor is, I know you said that earlier in the conversation. I just want to make sure that they understand what that means. And can you explain what that means and when is that needed?
It's needed for most of your loans, for everything. But what a personal guarantor is basically, I like to say it like this: you're basically co-signing for your business in layman's terms. So basically, you're basically co-signing for your business, for the business get funded, because your personal credit profile, like I taught y'all earlier, is structured out correctly. So now you can co-sign to go cut this check for your business. So I'll be going back and forth. People like, I don't want to use my personal credit. I want to. It is business funding, but you need to co-sign. You have to co-sign for it. And once you co-sign for it, then it is going. It's going to be in your business name. So that's all.
Now, what are the drawbacks of that? Are there any drawbacks or anything that people should be aware of when they go the PG route?
Yeah, the drawbacks. So now, if you default on it, it does goes to your personal name. If you default on the loan, it does go there. But if you default on, let's say, a BLOC, a business line of credit, you can go to credit repair and kind of wipe that off. But if you do an SBA, that's the government. We can't. You're gonna owe them. So I tell people that. So you get a lower interest rate, you get lower time. You get more money, lower interest rate, and a longer time to pay it back when you go SBA. So SBA is it is the sweet spot. But if you default on it, you defaulted on it. They got you. Either they got you or you put up collateral and they got you that way. They always gonna have somewhere they're gonna make sure they trying to make sure they get their money. If you was in the bank, you would do the same thing. And so basically that's basically how it is, how it works. But the personal guarantor, yeah, it's just you co-signing. So that's the two I tell people. I say, hey, you want to go SBA or you want to go this conventional? Because conventional we can kind of wipe that off. Yeah. But SBA we can't wipe that off. So that's the two biggest thing with that.
Thank you for that explanation. I got a couple more questions, but I also want to open the floor. If there's anybody that is curious about business funding, about how they can leverage their credit so that they can scale their business and begin to build generational wealth, now is the time to ask questions. Closed mouths don't get fed. You have to be willing to ask questions. It's the only way you're going to get information. Now, my follow-up question, or my next question is, when someone gets funding, and I know a lot of people think about this, a lot of people don't really know what their next move is. In this day and age, I know you laughing because you've probably seen it a couple times. In this day and age, what are the smartest ways to flip that funding into some real cash?
Honestly, before you go get this money, you do want to have a plan. When I first start funding people, that's like now they doubling back, say, hey, I got all these loans and I don't know what to do with it, because a lot of them got the money,
Yeah.
but they didn't know what to do with it. Money comes with a lot of responsibilities, man. A lot of responsibilities. And then when they got it, they want to look at it. Oh, I just got 100,000 in my bank account. Now they scared to to let it go out and make more baby monies. So they hold on to it. And to the fact that now they taking the loan and the money they got from loan and paying the loan back. But now they like the money is getting low. They didn't when they bought cars and went on vacations and all this crazy stuff. Bad debt. Right? So they got to take that money and they got to invest that money. So you have to figure out, like I said, writing things down is the best way. Know your end goal, and then figure out the stuff that it takes to get to that end goal. You got a great idea, you want to invest in it, but once you get that money, man, let that money go, because you gotta let it go. If you borrow 100,000, let's think on the street level real quick. Let's go to the streets with this one. All right, because everybody I know, especially my people, they more willing to take risks with their life than to take risks than borrow money from the bank. Meaning, every popular, successful drug dealer in this world that ever lived, and they all had the right plug. They had the right connection. So somebody was like, here go a key of cocaine, right? I want 40,000 back. Every hustle in the street, no, heck yeah. They're gonna sell it, and they're gonna at least make 50 or 50,000. They're gonna pay them they 40, and they're gonna repeat. And then they're gonna get another one, maybe getting two. Now they're gonna make 10, 15K profit out of it. It ain't gonna really no double up. They just trying to make a profit. It's the same thing, y'all. Guess what? In the business world, they give you 100,000. If you can make 25,000 profit, what you do is you pay them back. You just generated $25,000 from zero. Because say you ain't got no money, they gave you 100,000. That's not your money. That's your business money. So that's your first mindset. That's not your money. That's your business money. So you take that 100,000, you make 125,000. You get them 800 back. You got 25. Guess what? You go repeat. Right now, you make another 25,000. You can do that 4 times a year, and you done made $100,000 in income and pay them their money back. Now you done pay them back so much. Now they can throw you $500,000. So what you was making off that 100,000, now you're making 5 times that much, because guess what? You just generated income off somebody else's money. So that's how the game goes. So think about what you want to do. Think about the investment. When you get the money, don't hold on to the money. Push that money out. Be like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola make $1 billion a year. They put $1 billion back in advertising, and every other business does it, right? So when you get that money, don't be afraid to put it back out there, because if everybody that called me and they say, I got this money, Dwight, they mad at me. They like, you just basically put me in. I ain't put you in that. I got you what you asked for. And then they asked me, well, what should I do? I said, okay, what's your goal? Well, I'm trying to open, let's just say, home care business. I said, okay, well, what you need to do first thing, you need to go hire a mentor. That's the first thing I tell them. Go hire a mentor. Go follow somebody on IG. Don't just jump into them. Know, like, and trust them. Follow them for a while. If you feel like they somebody that you can rock with, go hire them. Let them. So, but they want to pay. You got to pay. You got a loan. Take that money that you got. They want $10,000, $20,000. That $10,000, $20,000 that you finna give them, you got 80,000 left. They probably gonna tell you to invest another 20 into your business, and now you finna start making money off of that, because now you got the information. You know, you got all the steps. You didn't cut to the chase. You don't have to make mistakes, because man, you can make a lot of money off making mistakes. I'll tell you one story. I made money off of mistakes. I was doing stocks, and everybody's like, man, you need to do trade options. You need to do trade options. I was like, all right, okay. I finally just like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I made $20,000 that first time I did it in one day, probably in a couple hours. I said, oh my God, this is it for me. I'm finna be rich. I thought I knew what I was doing. That $20,000 that I made cost me $100,000, because I gave that 20 back plus 100 more, because I didn't go hire somebody to actually teach me. I made a lucky mistake that cost me $100,000. So I say that to say, if I would have just paid somebody, I wouldn't have been $100,000 in the hole. Because once I paid somebody, he got me about the hole. But think about if I would have just been smart enough to go pay them in the first beginning. Y'all just don't know how much free costs you.
Mm.
Free costs you more than paying somebody. Just trust me.
And that's not even including the time that you lost doing it the
Correct.
wrong way, the time that it took you to relearn how you were supposed to learn it,
All that
you
stuff.
know. Dang, man. Dang, man. That's deep. That's deep. So I'm curious right now, we're obviously in a different, let's say different political climate. A lot
Yeah.
of things are changing in the funding spaces, and I'm curious, like, what advice that do you have for entrepreneurs as you know, h- how can they begin to protect themselves and to make sure that they're aligned for this administration in terms of funding and structuring their businesses? What kind of advice would you give them in that realm?
Yeah. Yeah, once we learn the information, I feel like a lot of things has changed and it's going to keep on changing. So the best thing to do is just, like I said, the best time to ask for money is when you don't need it. So
Mm,
honestly, let's just start getting all our nuts, like a squirrel, get on your nuts together
mm,
just for, we don't know what's going to happen.
mm,
But it's more important what happens in your house than the White House. So you got
mm,
to get your house straight first, get your financial literacy straight, get your money straight, get your credit straight while you
mm,
can. Everything is going digital anyway. Cash, I don't even know. That's like so foreign to me. I don't even like cash no more. I mean, but when I see people playing with it, I don't look like that's no money. Everything is digital. So if everything is digital currency, because really this country we're bankrupt. We really don't have no money. I
mm,
tried to go to the bank one time and ask for only $10,000 and they couldn't give it to me. I got mad.
mm,
I'm like, I thought this was a
mm.
bank. They don't have the money in the banks. And when I wanted to get 100,000, I had to order it. So when people try to tell me they can go get money, no, you can't. You got to order because they really don't have the money. They got to go order the money, print the money,
Right.
and get the money to you. So really, everything is digital. So this is the reason why credit is becoming really, really more important because what credit is, it's a three-digit score. It's digital.
Mm,
So you got digital currency, you got credit, you got crypto. Everything now is digital. So all this cash
mm,
stuff and cash, like remember, I don't know. I remember when I was younger, we walked past a quarter, we picking it up. Now we're like, what's that? Like
mm,
who carried
mm.
coins? Like we used to have penny banks and stuff. Like all that stuff is getting extinct. So nobody bust open the penny bank because coins ain't really nothing no more. So just like coins is getting diluted, the dollar has got diluted as well. So it's very, very important right now, y'all. Just get financial literacy. I don't care what business you in, what you plan to do with your life. Get the financial literacy first. So if things go wrong, you know how to go get the money back and you can stay. So just keep up with financial literacy and
Mm,
that's going to set you. So one thing about Trump, at least I know a lot of things change, but
mm,
I don't think he's going to change this rule because he played bad.
okay.
So he played by the rules that a lot of us credit repair people play by. So um, I don't understand what they do in the world. I mean, they trying to replace everybody with robots. So the only downfall with that is, okay, I see AI. Everybody want to save money, but if the middle class is not making money, then our small businesses can't make money. So it's going to become a domino effect. You cut the middle class people out. But what I noticed was they not really cutting the middle class people out. They cutting the
Mm,
black middle
mm,
class people out. So we have to pay attention to that, right? So I was looking at the numbers. So they're getting rid of that's why they changed the laws that now they don't have to hire people that's black or minorities. They changed that first.
mm,
After they changed that, then they started letting a lot of black people go, right? So it's not the fact that they really replacing everybody with AI. They replacing minorities right now with AI, right? So now if minorities, I'm sorry, it's not making money, then who gonna shop with me? Because I'm one. I don't
mm,
think they're gonna shop with me. So if my people can't go to work, then they're not gonna be able to afford to pay for my credit repair service or my
mm.
mentorships or nothing like
Right.
that. So the best thing that we can do to get in position is we got to get in power and we got to start selling to each other because they kicking us out the job field.
Mm,
So they gave us jobs. Now they don't want us to even work no more. And they think
mm,
we're too dumb to start our own businesses because they
mm,
see how we are as a culture, how we fight and tear each other down like crabs in the bucket. So now if they kick them out of the workforce, it's the black small business that's going to suffer, not them, because they know how to battle with each other. and shop with each other, just as well as the black people with money shop with them too. So they already thought all this out.
Mm.
So it's going to tear, if it tears the middle class people down, it's going to tear me down as a small black business owner as well. No matter what type of financial literacy I have, because if my people can't afford to shop with me, then everything leaves. So it's really best, man. A lot of y'all get financial literacy, and just even if you don't want to use it, just get the education, man. Just please, just get the education. So just a case. My community number $47 a month. We pay more than that for Netflix and a lunch. Shoot, every time I go eat for lunch, it's $25 now. Somebody like, where you go eat at? But I don't know. But it do to me. I remember I can go to McDonald's for less than $10. And now I go take some on a cheap lunch date. It's $50. I'm like, God dang. So yeah, prices, everything is going up. So we gonna have to, as a culture, we gonna have to stick together, because Trump came in, he's looking out for his people, and we can't be mad at him, because if I was in there, I'm looking out for y'all. So we can't cry about it. We gotta think of a solution, right? So like I said, what happened in the White House is not more important than what happened in your house. So you got to get your house together. You got to get your culture together. And as a people, we got to come together, because if we don't come together, we the one that's going to suffer. We the one that's going to go through the Great Depression. We the one that's going to fall. They're not going to fall.
Man, so much game. If someone's watching this episode and they rewatching it, or someone that's just sat through this whole live, shout out to them, by the way. If they could take only one thing from our conversation, what's the one power move that could change their financial situation?
Credit. I know people don't want to hear that. Credit. I know people probably saying cash. Credit. Because with credit, I could be broke, because I was broke when I started. You can be zero. You can set your credit profile right, and now you got 100,000. You got to go work a whole year to make 100,000. Work, and then you're gonna get taxed from that, right? And then you're not gonna have time to even take the money and invest it, because a lot of you're working to pay bills, right? But I can start off with credit, and I can go make money, and I can generate money off somebody else's money, and I can scale up faster that way. So to me, man, credit is everything. Like I said earlier, like my guy Paul, like he's a millionaire now, but he couldn't make one move without credit, and he worked for the federal government, and he middle class, but was living with his brother because he didn't have the credit to go get a place, and I helped him with that, and I helped him elevate, kept elevating. He's a smart guy. Like I said, he's a great friend of mine. At this point, because I build relationships. Relationships is very important too, y'all. Relationships to me is more than money. I love relationships. Like another story, my trainer, right? So I was going to my trainer 2 times a week, and then I was like, bro, I can't come to you no more. I got to pay my daughter got a situation. I needed to pay her bills, so that cut off of my extra money. I had to take care of my daughter. He said, don't worry about it. Fix my credit for me, and I just let you come. He said, I give you so many training. It supposed to end of December. We going into March, and he like, man, just keep coming. Because once I start working on his credit, another example of a guy that made good money but was driving a hoopty. Now he got 2 cars. We started with him in October. He went and bought a $100,000 BMW coupe first. And then I went traveling for like a month or 2, came back to train. I said, dang, bro, I didn't know you was here, man. I was looking for your car. He said, I got another one. I said, boy, you sound like me. So now he got a Mercedes-Benz, And then after this lab tonight, we're going to go meet, and he want to talk some more business. So relationships is everything. Now I'm getting trained for free. And he's getting free. It's not free. It's a barter. I mean, didn't make that right. It's a barter. We got to, this is what I mean about us cultures looking out for each other, because health is wealth is too. So he's helping me. He helping me, and I'm helping him. We helping each other. We helping each other get to the next level. It's a bro. Like I'm not hiding. Like I get excited. Every time I pull up and go to the gym, I look at his car. I'm just so happy, because he did everything. He executed everything I told him. I did everything I
Mm,
said I was gonna do.
mm,
And now he just see the vision. And now he's like, okay, it's time to me get my own gym. And it's a relationship.
yeah.
And so relationships is important, y'all. So yeah,
No, you're right, man. I mean, look, man, this is, I know our first conversation was earlier today, but the type of game and the mindset and the moves that you're making, I can definitely tell you that this won't be our last conversation.
oh yeah, for sure, brother. I'm looking forward. I told you I'm coming out there too.
Come on out, man. Hey, man, we waiting for you, man.
I'm coming
The
out
the
there. I got you out there too now. Yeah, I'm coming.
the lunches are a lot cheaper than 25 or $50, man. I'll just say that, bro.
Hey man, that's one of my dreams to one of my goals, I should say. Yeah, I want to move out the country so I can be my money can go a lot farther, especially in my latter years.
I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
Yeah,
So,
but we've been out here for a
so
while. We don't want to
yes, sir.
hold them too long.
Yeah, for sure. Where can people tap in with you, man? Where can they join your community or start their own funny business? Where can they find you at online?
All right, so my school community is called Each One Teach One. So I went back to my roots on that. Each One Teach One. For a lot of my younger people that don't know that, back in slavery,
Mm,
if you learned how to read and write, it was your job obligation to teach somebody else. So
mm,
that's what I feel like my job is. I learned financial literacy, so it's my job to give it back to my community. So Each One Teach One is where everybody needs to start at. It's only
mm,
$47 a month. Y'all can definitely find me on IG, my Instagram. It's the numbers 24.8.enterprise. That's Kobe Bryant numbers 24.8. So it's the same numbers 24, then dot 8 dot enterprise. You can find me on IG. So that's where everything can start. We can build a relationship. You can follow me. You can know, like, and trust me. All for just basically follow me on IG. Like I said, I'm still taking a lot of my calls. So when y'all talk, y'all gonna actually be talking to me. So that's a benefit as well. There's a lot of gurus. Y'all not gonna be able to talk to them, but get me now before it's too late,
yeah.
where you can actually call and you can have these conversations with me. Because I am finna leave the closing soon. So get with me while you can. And if you don't, you can still join my community. You'll see me once a month on live, or we can get to coaching calls. So whatever you need, I'm just here to get you to the next level.
Man, hey, you dropped some amazing, some generational gems right there, man. Like whole conversation. I want people to really just go back and listen to it because you really gave the step-by-step process on how to level up financially and even in the mindset too, which is the foundation for success.
That's a
So,
fact.
you know,
So, so,
I
so
appreciate you,
I
man.
should have said that
Uh,
first when you asked me. Mindset is
what's
number
that?
one. Mindset one, then credit second.
Okay. Okay, okay. That's true. That's true, man. Well,
Yeah,
you said what was on your heart, man. So I respect it. I
yeah.
respect it. Nonetheless, man, big shout out to you for coming through all the way from Vegas, man, and dropping these gems, man. I appreciate you pulling out tonight, man.
Yes,
For real.
sir, man. I appreciate you having me, man. Great conversation. Looking forward to talking to you again, brother.
Likewise, man. And everybody that tuned in, thanks for tuning in. And I'll catch you all on Tuesday for another great conversation. So 24/8, it's been great. Till next
Yes, sir.
time, brother. All right, man. Peace out.